You step onto the deck of the citadel. The metal vibrates beneath your boots. It hums a low and steady note. The air tastes like ozone and stale coffee. You smooth the front of your uniform. The fabric feels rough against your fingertips. You take a slow breath. Your lungs burn slightly. This is the moment they waited for. The hangar bay is vast and cold. Lights flicker high above your head. They buzz like angry insects. You scan the crowd gathered at the gate. There are hundreds of them, maybe more. They stand in total silence. They want a victory parade. They expect a trophy or a treaty. You shift the weight of your satchel. It feels light against your hip. Too light. The strap digs into your shoulder. You adjust it with a subtle twitch. You try to look like a hero. It is harder than it looks. A hero stands tall and proud. You just feel tired. Your eyes meet the gaze of a guard. He is young and eager. He holds his rifle too tightly. His knuckles are white. He nods at you with respect. You force a stiff nod back. It feels like a lie. You start the long walk forward. The crowd parts for you. They are like the sea parting for a ship. But there is no cheering. No applause breaks the heavy quiet. They are holding their breath. They want to see what you brought. You keep your hands away from the satchel. You keep your eyes forward. Do not look at their faces. If you look, you will see the hope. Hope is a dangerous thing right now. It cuts deeper than despair. You focus on the great doors ahead. They are made of blast shielding, thick and scarred by time. They protect the inner sanctum. They also trap the silence inside. You count your steps to stay calm. 1 and 2 and 3. The rhythm helps settle your heart. Your heart is beating against your ribs. It sounds like a drum in your ears. You hope no one else hears it. That would be embarrassing. The doors slide open with a groan. The sound echoes in the empty space. You step into the great hall. The air here is cooler. It smells of stone and age. Shadows stretch long across the floor. Dust motes dance in shafts of light. You walk past the first row of statues. They loom over you in the gloom. These are the heroes of old. Their stone eyes seem to track you. You feel judged by their silent stares. Commander Vance stands on the left. He holds a stone datapad. He looks particularly disappointed today. Or maybe that is just your guilt. You pass the statue of Admiral Harkin. She points a finger at the stars. Her face is set in grim determination. You try to match her expression. You probably look more like you have indigestion. Your boots clack loudly on the floor. The sound is sharp and lonely. It announces your arrival to the dark. You feel very small in this hall. The ceiling is lost in shadow. It feels like the throat of a beast. You are walking right down its gullet. You reach the end of the hall. The council chamber lies ahead. The doors are polished obsidian. They reflect your face back at you. You look pale and worn out. You need a shave. You definitely need a drink. Maybe two. The doors part without a sound. The chamber is lit by soft blue light. The council sits in a circle. They are elevated on a dais. They look down at the center spot. That is where you must stand. It is the spot for judgment. Elder Ones sits in the center. His robe is deep crimson. His beard is white and braided. It reaches down to his waist. He leans forward as you enter. His eyes are sharp and clear. They pierce right through your defenses. The other elders shift in their seats. Cloth rustles like dry leaves. They murmur to each other softly. The sound is like distant thunder. They are discussing your fate. Or maybe what is for lunch. You hope it is lunch. You step into the center circle. The floor lights up beneath you. It is a harsh white spotlight. You blink against the glare. You feel exposed and raw. The murmurs die down instantly. The silence returns with a vengeance. It is heavier than before. Elder Ones raises a hand. The gesture is slow and commanding. Speak, he says. His voice is deep and resonant. It fills the room effortlessly. Tell us of your journey. You clear your throat. It sounds like scraping sandpaper. I have returned, you say. Your voice cracks slightly. You wince internally. Great start. I went beyond the nebula. You pause for effect, or maybe just to breathe. I sought the lost colony. The elders lean in closer. They are hungry for good news. They want to hear about survival. They want to hear about new worlds. You reach for your satchel. The clasp feels cold and slippery. You undo it with a click. The sound rings out like a gunshot. You reach inside the leather bag. Your hand brushes the rough interior. You grab the small container. You pull it out slowly. You hold it up for them to see. It is a simple glass jar. Inside is gray dust. Just dust, nothing more. A gasp ripples through the council. It sounds like air leaving a tire. Elder Ones narrows his eyes. What is this? He asks. His voice has lost its warmth. It is cold as the void now. This is all that remains, you say. You place the jar on the floor. It makes a dull thud. The colony is gone. You stand straight again. You brace for the impact. It is coming. Explain, says a voice to your right. You turn to face her. It is Elder Vane. She has a scar on her cheek. She looks ready to fight. We sent a fleet, she says. We sent our best ships. The fleet is gone too, you say. The words taste like ash. All of them. The room erupts into whispers. They sound like angry wasps. Someone slams a fist on a table. Impossible, shouts a man in green. The Fifth Fleet was invincible. Nothing is invincible, you say softly. You wait for them to quiet down. It takes a moment. They are in shock. Denial is a powerful drug. They are overdosing on it right now. Elder Ones raises his hand again. The room falls quiet. He looks at you with pity. Or maybe it is contempt. Tell us what happened, he says. Start from the beginning. The nebula was thick, you say. You close your eyes to remember. Sensors were useless there. We flew blind for days. You can feel the memory washing over you. The cold sweat returns to your palms. The stars started to twist. Twist? Asks Elder Vane. She leans forward. Stars do not twist. They do there, you answer. The light bends. You use your hands to show them. Space folds in on itself. It looks like oil on water. You open your eyes. It made the crew sick. We saw the rift, you continue. It was a tear in the sky. It pulsed with dark energy. You shudder involuntarily. The void sighed. You look around the room. I know how that sounds. It sounds like madness, says the man in green. He crosses his arms. Space does not sigh. It does when it is hungry, you say. You hold his gaze. He looks away first. The rift pulled us in. You pitch your voice lower. The engines screamed, but we did not move. The Fifth Fleet, prompts Elder Ones. Where were they? They were ahead of us, you say. We saw their drive plumes. Bright blue against the dark. You pause to let it sink in. Then the rift opened wider. You make a crushing motion with your hand. It swallowed them whole, you say. 1 second they were there. The next they were gone. You drop your hand. No debris, no distress calls, just silence. The council stares at you. They look like statues now, frozen in horror. You can see the fear in their eyes. They are imagining the darkness. They are imagining the cold. We turned back, you say. We burned every ounce of fuel. You look down at your boots. We barely escaped. You feel the weight of the survivor. It is heavier than the dead. I am sorry. The silence stretches out. It feels like a physical weight. You want to run. You want to hide. But you stand your ground. You are the emissary. You deliver the news, even the bad news. Is there nothing else? Asks Elder One. His voice is barely a whisper. He looks very old suddenly. The hope has drained out of him. He looks like a deflated balloon. You hesitate. This is the dangerous part. There was one thing, you say. You look up. A signal. Heads snap up. Eyes widen. The spark returns. A signal? Asks Elder Vane. From the fleet? No, you say. From inside the rift. You take a step forward. It was faint, barely a whisper on the comms. You tap your ear. But it was a pattern. What kind of pattern? Asks the man in green. He looks skeptical, but he is listening. A beacon, you say. A navigation marker. You point to the empty air. Someone put it there. Someone wants us to follow. Or it is a trap, snaps Elder Vane. A lure for more ships. She glares at you. You want to send more of us to die? It felt familiar, you say. It felt like home. That sounds weak. You know it does. But it is the truth. The debate begins instantly. Voices rise in anger. Voices rise in fear. We must retreat, shouts one. We must investigate, shouts another. They argue over resources. They argue over lives. You stand in the middle of the storm. You watch them fight. They are afraid. Fear makes people stupid. Fear makes them cruel. You touch your pocket. You feel the hard edge inside. You have a secret. You did not show them everything. You found something floating near the rift. A shard of black crystal. It was cold to the touch, but now it feels warm. It hums against your leg. It vibrates in time with your pulse. Thump, thump. It wants to go back. It is calling to the rift. You realize something then. The beacon was not for the fleet. It was for the shard. Elder Ones slams his staff down. The crack is like thunder. Enough, he roars. The council falls silent. He looks at you. You are the only one who has seen it. Yes, Elder, you say. Do you believe it is a trap? He asks. He searches your face. He is looking for a lie. I do not know, you admit, but we are dying here. You gesture to the citadel. Our resources are failing. Our stars are dimming. You look him in the eye. We have no choice. Risky, mutters the man in green. Suicide. Hope is always risky, you counter. You feel a surge of adrenaline. I will go back. The room goes quiet again. They look at you like you are crazy. Maybe you are. You would return? Asks Elder Vane. After what you saw? I know the way now. You lie. You do not know the way, but you have the shard. I can navigate the rift. Elder Ones studies you. He strokes his beard. You ask for a ship, he says, and a crew. Just a ship, you say. I will go alone. No need to kill anyone else. A small scout vessel. Fast and quiet. They whisper among themselves. They are weighing the cost. One ship is cheap. One life is cheap. If you die, they lose nothing. If you succeed, they gain everything. It is simple math. Agreed, says Elder Ones. He nods once. You leave within the hour. He waves a hand. Dismissed. You turn and walk out. You do not look back. You feel their eyes on your back. They think you are a dead man walking. You smile grimly. Joke's on them. You have been dead inside for years. You head straight for the launch bay. You bypass the barracks. You do not want to say goodbye. Goodbyes are messy. They waste time. You reach the scout ship. It is small and ugly. It looks like a flying brick. Perfect. You climb into the cockpit. The seat is hard. The controls are worn. You punch in the launch sequence. The engines whine to life. They sound reluctant. Come on, old girl, you mutter. You verify the fuel levels. Full tank. Oxygen is green. Shields are, well, they exist. That is a bonus. You feel the shard in your pocket. You take it out. It glows with a purple light. You place it on the dashboard. It sticks there like a magnet. The ship's systems flicker. The lights dim for a second. Then they burn brighter. The engine note changes. It becomes a growl. The shard is powering the ship. Well then, you say. That is new. You request clearance. The tower grants it immediately. They want you gone. You push the throttle forward. The ship leaps into the void. The stars stretch out before you. They look cold and indifferent. You set coordinates for the nebula. The nav computer complains. It marks the area as a hazard. You override the warning. I know, you tell the machine. It is a bad idea. The flight is long. You sleep in shifts. You eat tasteless paste. You talk to the shard. It does not answer, but it pulses when you speak. It is a good listener, better than the council. You reach the nebula edge. The gas is thick and green. It swirls like toxic soup. You plunge into it. The sensors go blind instantly. Static fills the screens. You are flying by sight now, and by the shard. It glows brighter as you go deeper. It acts like a compass. You follow its lead. You steer left, then right. You dodge clouds of debris. You dodge pockets of radiation. Then you see it. The rift. It is a scar in reality. It bleeds darkness into the crushing void. It is terrifying. It is beautiful. The ship shudders violently. The hull groans under the stress. Hold together, you whisper. You grip the controls. Your knuckles are white again. You steer straight for the center. The maw of the beast opens wide. You are the tasty snack. The gravity seizes the ship. You are pulled forward. The acceleration pins you to the seat. You cannot breathe. Your vision blurs at the edges. Red warning lights flash. You ignore them. You enter the rift. Silence. Absolute silence. The engine noise vanishes. The vibration stops. You are floating in nothing. Outside the window is chaos. Colors that do not exist swirl around. Time feels like it has melted. You look at your hand. It leaves a trail when you move it. Like a visual echo, you look at the clock. The numbers are running backwards. Then they flip to symbols. Then they stop. Okay, you say, this is fine. It is not fine. You feel nauseous. Your stomach is doing backflips. The shard is blazing with light now. It is blindingly bright. Then the voice comes. It is inside your head. It is not a sound. It is a thought that is not yours. Emissary, it whispers. You returned. You look around the cockpit. Who is there, you ask? You feel foolish talking to the air. We are the lost, the voice says. We are the found. The voice sounds like many people, all speaking at once. Follow the light. You look out the viewport. A single white star appears. It is steady and pure. It cuts through the chaos. You steer toward it. The ship responds to your thought, not the controls. Closer, the voice urges. Do not fear. You fly toward the star. It grows larger. It is not a star. It is a tear in the darkness, a window to somewhere else. You see green fields. You see blue water. You see a world untouched. Take the gift, the voice says. Something impacts the hull, a soft thud. You look at the cargo arm controls. A reading appears. Object secured. You did not do anything. The ship did it, or the shard did. Go, the voice commands. Plant the seed. The rift begins to collapse. The colors turn violent. The silence breaks. The roar returns. It is deafening. The ship is thrown backward. You spin uncontrollably. You grab the stick. You fight the spin. Come on, you scream. You push the engines to max. The shard flares one last time. A surge of power hits the drives. You shoot out of the rift like a bullet. You burst back into normal space. The stars are fixed again. The nebula is behind you. You are gasping for air. Sweat stings your eyes. You check the ship status. Hull integrity is low, very low, but you are alive. You check the cargo bay. There is a container there. It was not there before. You engage the autopilot. You stumble to the back. You look through the viewing glass. Inside is a pod. It pulses with green light. It looks like a giant seed. It is the size of a man. You feel a wave of peace coming from it. It pushes away the fear. It pushes away the cold. You return to the pilot seat. You set a course for home. You lean back and close your eyes. You start to laugh. It is a jagged, hysterical sound. You made it. You actually made it. The return trip is a blur. You do not sleep. You just watch the stars. They look different now, less hostile, more like diamonds. You've rubbed a shard in your pocket. It is dormant again, just a black rock. You reach the citadel. The traffic control is frantic. Identify, they shout. You were gone for weeks. Weeks, you ask? It felt like hours. Time dilation. Nasty business. This is the Emissary, you say. I have returned. You land in the same bay. The same crowd is there. They look tired. They look hopeless. They see your battered ship. They expect a corpse. The ramp lowers. Steam hisses again. You walk down. You are dirty. You are unshaven. You look like a wreck. But you are smiling, a real smile. Elder Ones is there. He looks shocked. You are alive, he says. Better than alive, you say. You signal the cargo loader. The drone brings out the pod. The green light spills out. It bathes the hangar in a soft glow. The crowd gasps. What is it? Asks Elder Vane. She steps closer. Her hand hovers over her weapon. A new beginning, you say. You press the release. The pod opens. A sapling stands inside. It has silver leaves. It glows with inner light. Roots reach out, seeking soil. It is a world tree, whispers the man in green. He knows his myths. It creates atmosphere. It purifies water. It heals, you say. It heals everything. You take the sapling. It is heavy but manageable. You walk to the center of the hangar. There is a vent there. It leads to the core processors. It leads to the station's heart. You place the sapling on the grate. The roots move instantly. They dig into the metal. They ignore the steel. They go deep. The station shudders. Not a bad shudder. A good one. Like a stretch after a long sleep. Lights flicker and turn steady. The air scrubbers kick into high gear. The air tastes sweet suddenly, like rain, like forests. The crowd breathes it in. You see shoulders relax. You see smiles form. Elder Ones looks at you. There are tears in his eyes. You did it, he says. You saved us. We saved us. You correct him. You pat your pocket. The shard is warm. We just needed a little push. The crowd begins to cheer. It starts as a ripple. It becomes a wave. It becomes a roar. They are chanting your name. You wave a hand. You are too tired for this. You look up at the ceiling. The station feels alive around you. It pulses with the heartbeat of the tree. The galaxy is vast and dark, but you have a light now. A light that grows. You turn to leave. You need that nap. You need that drink. Maybe a shower first. Definitely a shower. Where are you going? Asks Elder Vane. She looks almost friendly. To sleep, you say. Wake me up if the universe ends. You walk away. The cheering follows you. It sounds good. But the silence in your head is better. The ghosts are gone. The guilt is gone. You have filled your empty hands. You step into the lift. The doors close. You lean against the wall. You close your eyes. You are just a man in a uniform. But today, you are a giant. And tomorrow? Well, tomorrow is a problem for tomorrow. Today, you win. The lift rises. You feel the pull of gravity. It feels like a hug. You are home. Finally home. The end.